Hi there, I'm a Jester in Black, and I'm finally back with more Fire Emblem Three Houses. This is Chapter 12 on the Empire route of the Black Eagle's Path on Maddening difficulty. So let's begin with some analysis of our enemies here. We'll start with the biggest threats. So starting off, we got Sedith. He's got Colossal Movestat of 7, and 23 attack speed is nothing to sneeze at, especially with 55 attack and 34 crit backing it up. One nice thing about the way he's set up is he's using a lance, so the axe fair damage doesn't come into effect here. And he does get Defiant Strength, which means I'll want to take him down from like 26% to 0, rather than letting him pass through 25% if I can. So he's probably the biggest threat currently on the map. On this side we've got Gilbert, and Gilbert doesn't move, but he does have a Tomahawk. So I'll have to attack him from 3 range in order to outrange him. He's got a pretty big attack stat of 54, but everything will double him because he's got 0 attack speed. He's not that big a threat. His resistance is pretty bad too. But he does have a pretty beefy counterattack power if you actually do let him get a counter off on you. And he's also got Pavus and Aegis, which can sort of throw a wrench in your plans for killing him. And Keen Intuition, since his attack speed is 0, it doesn't really actually help him all that much, but it does make hitting him a little bit harder. Then on the other side of the map, we've also been betrayed by Flane, and she's got 56 attack with Seraphim, which is also pretty good, 26 crit. She's only got 13 attack speed though. The big problem with her is she has Miracle, so you're not guaranteed to kill her even if you can 100% do enough damage. So that's the one thing that I'm going to have to play around and be careful with her. Then it's mostly Armor Knights. They're not that big a threat because you can basically use Stride or whatever to close in on them and attack them from beyond their range, take them out pretty easily with mages, and they don't do that much damage because they've got low attack speed. And then you got the Pegasus Knights, which are just the opposite. They're very dangerous because they have high mobility and high attack speed. They also have Swordbreaker, which means they have a chance of hitting Petra, but since they won't double her, I can still use her to bait the Pegasus Knights out as long as I do it one at a time. And then, there's Poison Strike Archer over here, and there will be reinforcements too, I believe, but other than that, and a couple of small mercenaries, that's basically all the units that are on the map for now. Now, once I take out the 3 commanders, Rhea spawns here, and the fast but risky strategy for dealing with her here is to warp a bunch of units next to this tile, and then when she spawns immediately gank her in 1 turn. Unfortunately, I don't think I have enough units that will be able to take a counterattack from Rhea, where that will become safe, so I'll probably have to slog my way through like the golems and the reinforcements that take these fire orbs and ballistas. So it's going to be a little bit slower than it would be if I went for the fast but risky strategy here. But if you want to do it quickly, just get a bunch of flyers or a bunch of warpers and warp as many units as you can right around there and be able to take her out. You can potentially even solo her if you, get your stats up really high on one of your units. But all in all, the opposition is still a little bit dangerous because Sedith is basically going to have a small chance of critting and killing pretty much anyone on my team.
Friends, our opportunity for victory will come, but first, we must see to our defenses.
The city's defenders are trying to stall for time. We must crush them swiftly. I should be wary of ambushes as well.
Ladislava is being pushed on the left flank. We must push back with equal force.
So I'm going to start this off with a Stride Gambit from Linhardt here, in order to hopefully take out this ballista. And I think if I put him here, looks like we won't hit Dorothea. So I'll put him on this side of Byleth then. I think that's as many units as I can hit with this.
That helps.
So now I can
Leave
get
it to me.
my Scythia right into range here. And if I use something a little bit stronger, we can probably take him out in one hit. Although, ideally, we're going to need a little bit more accuracy, so that way we don't risk taking a counter. Also want to stay outside the Armor Knight ranges. So I might be able to get Dorothea over here. Actually, there's pretty good hit odds, but could use a Meteor potentially, or Thoron. I like the idea of going with Thoron here. 3 damage. We even got the hit. So that means I can probably do this with, say, Miasma. Might as well do it from 4 range instead, so I don't have to take a counter. I'll try that. It's a little bit risky. But we got the kill. So, that takes care of that. And we get a level up for Lysithia.
I don't have time for failure.
I mean, she could use the dex, but not great. No magic, no speed. Now, as long as I stay out of Seth's range, I should be able to charge the center with Petra.
I will get the victory.
And I'll give her the Rapier due to it being super effective against Armor Knights.
Now! Hidden soldiers, attack!
So, I didn't quite plan on all of this, but it looks like it's going to be fine because none of them can hit her. And none of them even have gambits, which means that, guarantee they won't be able to hit her. I do have to deal with this mage, though, it looks like. Preferably without baiting those warriors. Oh, let's see. 29 attack. Dorothea has 33 resilience, so she'll be fine. As long as I move Edelgard out of range, I think we're good here. So I might just do that instead.
I am Ferdinand von Eyre.
And I'm going to move Ferdinand von Eyre over here,
Oh, good.
along with our other units on this side.
Ready.
And they're going to fly up this side and hopefully deal with flame before enemy reinforcements can spawn. And I think I'll set Hubert as well, because he might actually be pretty helpful against those Armor Knights if he gets there quick
I will
enough.
prevail.
Yeah, I don't want Edelgard to be doubled, so I guess I'll send her to the right as well. Now, Byleth is a very powerful unit, so it'd be a real waste not to use her.
Stay focused.
And resilience isn't great, but she does have enough speed that she should avoid being doubled. If I sit at the edge of range here and give her the Iron Bow, it'll actually give us a chance to counterattack as well. Green unit did fine work there. No chance. Guaranteed counter kill.
I will not be stopping.
And Petra levels up.
I am greater now.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one. I'm happy with that. Miss, guaranteed counter kill.
Flame spirit protect me.
If that hits, it'll hurt, but it's the only thing that'll hit her this turn, so she'll be fine. Either way, it missed us. Miss. Guaranteed miss, and yep, we're gonna get the counter kill.
I will not be stopping.
I expect that'll be the same for the other warrior as well.
You will be slapped down.
He gets slapped down pretty hard here.
My heart heart is full
I think that was enough damage to kill him more than twice. There's a good chance that this Armor Knight committed suicide against the Dark Mage here, which he did. But I think there's going to be a follow-up. Oh, Rain Unit's still alive at least. This is probably a kill. Yep, there goes one of our Green Unit friends. He actually would have been really useful for taking out Armor Knights if he had survived, but oh well. Vladislava can take quite a few hits. So can Randolph. And they actually are pretty decent units. The Green Unit got a kill pretty cleanly there. So that's one less thing to worry about on that side. So all in all, things are progressing pretty smoothly so far. Now, I do want to stay out of Flame's range. Looks like she doesn't move of her own accord, so that's good. Probably also want to stay out of flyer range if I can avoid it. Looks like I should be clear to engage that Armor Knight. And he's not going to double me, so I can just leave Ferdinand up here and that should be fine. I do believe he has a hammer, but I couldn't get him quite close enough to use it. Looks like Ingrid is also slightly out of range. Can't really do anything useful with Edelgard or Ingrid, it looks like. I could potentially put Byleth here. The archer would be the big concern. I think if I put Petra here, that blocks the Armor Knights from reaching. I suppose I could also just kill the archer with Petra. And then let the Armor Knights potentially attack Byleth. Well, if I crit, I won't take any damage. And the damage is definitely survivable and healable either way.
Each battle, a chance to grow.
More crit from the Fraldaria soldiers, which is, I believe, the best crit battalion in the game. Probably want to use Linhardt for healing. Dorothea is a good healer as well, but Lysithea is pretty offensively focused, so I'll move her down here. And goodbye, Armor Knight.
You underestimated me.
Do I need the rapier? I think without it I won't be able to get kills. So I'll use the rapier to kill this archer, just so that way Petra will be able to counter kill if an Armor Knight is foolish enough to actually attack her. And she levels up even more.
My body and mind.
I like seeing speed. Speed is always good. Her void's 92 now at base. 19 damage. I can take 2 hits for 19 damage with Byleth, so that should be fine. It would be nice to trade her Iron Bow out for an Armor Slayer. I don't think Dorothea can actually get in range. At 12 attack speed, so she shouldn't be doubled. It's her action 13 versus 42 attack, so that's like 30 damage. She'll survive. She'll probably counter kill as well. Thunder I think I'll double as well. There we go. The enemy won't be able to get any free damage in, and we'll also heal by Leth while we're at it.
Well done.
Yep. That side is fine. I might want to heal some of these green units.
Just what we need. I knew Her Majesty's allies would help us out.
Guess you can talk to her, but she doesn't give you anything useful as a result of it. That's fine though. Not as if we really need anything. So we've got Ingrid and Edelgard. Edelgard is not a weak unit, but she's a little bit difficult to employ because her speed's kind of low. I think I'll keep her around by Leth just in case we need a little bit of extra support. And then I'll have Ingrid on this side. Because Ingrid has 26 resilience, which should make fighting Flame pretty easy for her. That hit. And the counterattack's gonna be pretty weak here. Okay. Maybe not as weak as I expected.
Only a fool challenges me.
Guaranteed miss, followed by a counter kill. We expect nothing less from Petra.
One more success.
Probably gonna hit, but the counter kill is also very likely.
Winning's always nice.
There's a level for Dorothea. Magic and speed,
I want to be all I can.
plus resistance. She has pretty good magical wall potential because her resistance is pretty immense. And I guess if the green units can't do anything useful on their turn, at least they're quick. So I'm going to heal this warrior. And advance with Lysithea. We'll save that warp for later. Should be really careful with how I position Hubert because he's a level 8 monk at this point due to underuse. Since I'm using the same file for both routes here, I sort of underutilize him because he's route exclusive. Could heal Petra for 2 hit points. Does she really need it? 55 attack. 41 plus 21? I don't think so. But I don't think I can do anything else that useful with Dorothea this turn, so... why not? And then I'll move my Leth up to follow up on whatever we end up doing here. We can get our base crit rate up to 79% with a killing edge here, pretty good. I want to stay out of Pegasus Knight range if I can. But I think it should be okay to step into Seteth's range with Petra as long as she doesn't get crit, which should be fairly unlikely. I mean, if I have a Stride Gambit on someone, looks like I don't. I have to use Petra to do the Stride, so that wouldn't work out quite so well. But if I did have a Stride Gambit available, I could potentially just rush up to Seteth and kill him on player phase instead of waiting for him to come to me by baiting him. Looks like I'm gonna have to bait him here, which might be a little bit risky. I think I'm also in Armor Knight range? No? Alright, then I will move into Armor Knight range so that way I can counter kill him with the Rapier on enemy phase. Now this guy's Axe Breaker, so Ferdinand's probably not a very good choice here. But it does have an Iron Lance. I think I get to retreat 1 extra space. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So I should be able to get out of Flame's range. Yeah, my hit rate here is pretty dreadful. I think I'll just wait. There's no counterattack, so I'll do this instead. This doesn't really accomplish anything because he'll just heal back up to full next turn, though. I guess if I put units around him, we could get those support bonuses rolling. Should be safe there, so...
I will show no mercy to anyone who attacks Rhea.
21% hit rate, 11% crit rate. So that was a little bit risky, but not dreadfully risky. We also got 24 damage in on him there, I think. And it looks like that aggro's all the flyers, which is a little bit unfortunate. But we do still have green units between us and them. That was not very smart for Randolph to do. Alright, so we have 38 HP left on Seth to chew through in order to take him out.
I will prevail.
Let's see what we can do here. 30 with a silver axe. You can guarantee a hit. So I need to get a little bit of extra damage in on him. I'm going to do that. Might be able to get that with Dorothea. Oh yeah. Probably use Sagittate for accuracy. Seems good. Slight amount of risk there, but I think we've got enough units that the odds are very heavily in our favor at the very least. And then Iron Axe is guaranteed to kill him. He doesn't have advantage, so this is safe. There he goes.
I cannot yield.
Zenith, please, do not overextend yourself. I am still in this fight.
I'm sorry, Flame. Withdraw if you must.
And then I should be able to take out this Armor Knight with either Petra or Byleth.
Stay focused.
I think I'll go with Byleth since Petra is already absurdly strong and doesn't need the experience to grow as much. Looks like the Armor Slayer will do the trick.
Watching her.
That's what Armor Slayers are for. It's actually really nice that in this
As
game,
expected.
Armor Knights are axe units rather than lance units as they have historically been for a lot of the Fire Emblem games. And that means that you don't have that awkward situation where you're using an Armor Slayer and you still have weapon triangle disadvantage. Makes it much better at its intended role. So on this side, I don't think I can get Lysithea quite in range to do anything. I actually will get experience if I break this wall, so I can use that to get a little bit of Wraith experience. Authority experience. And Nosferatu's not a spell I use frequently anyway.
I will get the victory.
Should probably move Petra over this way to help out this side because I think it's a little bit understaffed with strong units. It looks like I can bait Pegasus Knight from the forest here. I'll use the Iron Sword for accuracy. Wait in the forest. And then on this front, looks like the Pegasus Knights are going to be coming for me, so I probably should run away. Or try to pull them towards Petra and our units in the center here. Also gets us in range of Physic Healing with Dorothea next turn.
Ready.
It's kind of sad to abandon Randolph to his fate, but that's fine.
As you wish. I'll go.
Yep, Randolph is dead unless he crits. Well, at least he hit. This guy should survive with 1 HP. He was doing so well too, but he tried to tank Pegasi, and tanking Pegasi on Maddening mode is pretty difficult if you don't have quick riposte or insane speed. I think they're actually my least favorite enemies in Maddening mode, because they're the ones that are the biggest threat, and they're a pain to deal with because they have such high avoid. Yeah, Petra didn't hit there. Even if she hit twice, she wouldn't have got the kill though. Would have needed a crit.
Unfortunately, you must die here. You should never have defied the goddess.
That was an incredibly stupid thing for Ladislava to do.
Not enough.
Yeah.
Child's play.
Edelgard is a monster as far as physical defense goes, so it's basically use magic against him or don't fight him. I don't know why she chose to go for him over the mercenary here, but she did. So we do have a little bit of a mess here. Should be able to take out this Pegasus Knight this turn. But then I need to get all the units that can't take hits from a Pegasus Knight out of range. So I think Edelgard can survive. Okay, but only just, so that's fine. As long as we only leave her in one of their ranges. Petra can't kill. Ferdinand can do decent damage with pretty high reliability, and he can actually survive as he's at full health.
That's my cue.
Could also probably do damage with Dorothea pretty reliably as well. Don't think I can one-shot reliably, so I'm going to have to do some kind of a combination attack. So I think I'll go Ferdinand Edelgard. Alright, that works. If that failed to hit, I could have used Dorothea, but luckily it hit, so we're in pretty good shape. I think if I leave him here, as long as they put Edelgard above him, that's fine. It's not a guaranteed hit. So I need something a little bit better. Guess we'll go Smash Silver Axe. Kind of unfortunate to waste the durability, but we get a repair after this chapter anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Now you know your limits.
And she levels up.
One step at a time.
Alright, that also levels up.
What did I expect?
Well, thanks to Encloser, which Bernadetta gets at A, she's still useful even if her stats are no good. But let's see. This Pegasus Knight, we have to move Ingrid out of range there, but I think this one will probably go for Edelgard. Well, that actually has a pretty good hit rate with the Iron Bow there. Although, that's kind of inviting trouble. I think Byleth is a little bit too slow. 32 versus 23 means even Byleth gets doubled here, so it's sort of draw or nothing. Petra can take one hit. We can get the hit rate down pretty far as long as we hide in a forest with her. So I think I will wait in the forest with Petra, use Alert Stance, and the Iron Sword for maximum accuracy. And we have a 2% chance of hitting her there. And I can actually use Ingrid's Rally Magic here to boost Dorothea's healing.
How sweet.
Back to the fray.
That almost gets Ferdinand up to full. And then Probably want to pull Lysithea out of range here. So they're sort of trapped and can't deal with Gilbert until I deal with these Pegasus Knights and clear the way. Like Ladislav is going to be soaking hits there. 116 hits, so with around 40, 70, 85 avoid. I'm not that likely to hit, but I better keep out of range of both of them if I can. Although if they're guaranteed to go for Ladislava because there are no other units that can, I really only have to worry about one of them. As long as their hit rate's below 50%, that should be okay. Killing Edge is slightly faster. I think I'll try the Silver Sword though, just to keep my avoid as high as possible. And we have Felix and Hubert. I'm going to hide Hubert down there, and I guess I'll bring Felix around here slowly. The counterattack might kill. Alright, there's the crit. We needed that.
Should I have held back?
Ladislav is probably dead. Yep. And Violet probably is okay. Yeah, okay. The enemy doesn't have any crit on her, so thanks to the defense boost from the Force, she actually survived that even if she got hit twice. Edelgard's fine here. And that leaves this Pegasus on low life for player phase. And there's the last one. And it's probably gonna miss Petra. Petra might do damage. And I think we should be able to get this situation under control.
Unexpected.
So our hit rate there is not great, but we can one-shot. I'd like to get that a little bit higher, so I think I'll move Dorothea here. That should give us a support boost, and I'll also heal Edelgard.
Think this through.
And that extra hit rate from the Link Strikes bonus should allow us to get to 100 here.
Failure is not an option.
And that went well. Now we have 15 hit points to get off this one. And 18 for this one. I think if I use a bow with Byleth, we might actually be able to hit this kill. 70% hit rate. This is 53, so bow is better. Also try with Ingrid. That'll give us a support boost at any rate. I don't think Felix can do much from there, and Hubert's still all the way over here. Ferdinand or Petra could deal with this one. Ferdinand could also deal with this one if we fail to hit. So I think I'll try with Petra here first. $60 times 2. Yeah, it looks like none of our combat arts gets us a much higher hit rate here. So I'll try this. There we go.
Witness frigid pride.
That takes care of that one, and then Ferdinand or by left. I think I'll go for Ferdinand. He's a little bit below the curve.
Victory is assured.
Nice.
You are none.
I'm glad I can count on you.
No kill like overkill. And then I can move Byleth over here and bait this one. I think with 23 protection versus 44 attack, we're looking at 42 damage. Which will leave her on 1 HP. So I'm going to really go for the Killing Edge, just for the chance of the crit causing the enemy to not be able to counterattack. And I guess I will blow a hole in the wall, since I'm going to need to get up to the north side of the map eventually, one way or another. Then I should be able to start closing on Gilbert with Lysithea. Kind of a waste of a warp to do that. Yep, leave this at 1. Nice, we got the counter kill. That saves us a little bit of time healing.
Each battle, a chance to grow.
And that takes care of all of the major threats. So now I can just leisurely take out the remaining enemies. But that shouldn't take too long. Pretty likely to kill him in 1 round of combat here. Joy-Con drift. That's alright. If we take this one out, that's also fine. Doesn't look like he can counter either.
Thank you.
Seven levels for Petra, 25 for Dorothea, 23 for Edelgard. So I guess I want to give this to Edelgard if I can. Or Felix. Felix has an Armor Slayer, so we can give this one to him.
A great help.
A little bit of healing goes a long way. Might be able to take this one out with the Onager. Alright. Onager crit even.
Another step forward.
I mean, no strength, no speed, but not dreadful.
I'm
We got 4
surprised.
stats. But it's probably a little bit of a liability to send up that way. So I'd probably best avoid doing that. I'm gonna Petra this way to probably take out this mercenary by herself, and then maybe follow up with Flame. Ending. Ingrid can also fight Flame. I almost forgot Hubert was on this map. I don't know if it's really worth it to continue using Hubert, or if I should just bench
I
him.
will prevail.
Because he does have some pretty solid support capability, even as he is. But he's not really going to perform very well on this playthrough. I've sort of gimped him. Alright, there's some free healing. Now this turn we can take care of Gilbert with Lysithea.
Not enough.
Wow, he actually avoided it. And then he aegis it. So, at least we got the authority rank up from that. That would be a little bit of a waste of a physic, probably. So I'll refrain from doing that. Yep, 28 damage is definitely fine for Felix to take. As long as I attack from these two purple squares, should be fine.
I will remove
Well, that definitely will remove him.
you! One more success.
Great work.
Now, all we have to do is worry about Flame. I guess I'll move Ferdinand and Edelgard closer, although it's a little bit sketchy. They are not exactly the strongest units at this point,
Well done.
but they do have pretty good physical bulk, so I might be able to get away with it. I'll also move Byleth over this way as well. I might actually be able to slip up into the north side of the map with her. There we go, Gilbert heals himself to full. This is fine.
Stay vigilant.
So we can guarantee this kill with Felix.
Another win.
And that's perfectly fine. And then on this
I will
side,
get the victory.
well, that's a problem. Not only does she have crit on me, if she hits me, she'll kill me. And even a pure water means that she'll still be able to kill me. She also has Miracle, so I can't count on killing her. And my hit rate on her isn't even that good. So that's not great.
Ready.
And I think even with Ingrid, she still has crit on me. Although, I can actually take a hit. What do our Gambit hit rates look like? Really bad. 25%. So, I'm probably going to need to outrange her in order to kill her safely. Which probably means bringing Lysithea around.
Leave it to
But
me.
first, let's deal with Gilbert. I think... yeah, we don't double with Hades, so Miasma is probably our best bet. Alright, there he goes.
In my master's name, I cannot allow myself to fall here. I must withdraw.
And that's not the last time I'll have to fight Gilbert.
Battle.
I guess I can move Linhardt a little bit
Stay
closer.
focused.
I can also start moving Byleth into the north part of the map. Huh. So after I killed Gilbert, Flame starts moving on her own, it looks like. That's going to make things a little bit more difficult. But I suppose if I can get her off of her avoid tile, that might actually work out for me. She has what, 3% crit? 4% crit. So if I trade a Goddess Ring to Ingrid, I think I can get out of crit range. But it looks like I don't really have anyone close by with one to trade, unfortunately. Double with the bow, I can double with the javelin. So I think I will equip the javelin and sit just at the very edge of her range with Ingrid here. Actually, here's probably better. Yeah, she can't get into this forest that way. And that way I should be able to do a little bit of chip damage to her
I will prevail.
before bringing the entire might of the
I am
army
Ferdinand von Eyre.
within range to bear on her if need be.
That's my cue.
And I'll physic up
So,
Felix.
As you wish.
You shall not pass! I will protect Garreg Mach!
So she's probably got a 4% crit chance on me. She didn't crit, so we're in good shape. That's a little bit sloppy because I'm playing without a blessing here. If I wanted to do that safely, I should probably have blessed Ingrid. Still, that does get her down to 35 HP. I think that means with a combat art, yep, we can do enough damage to kill her. So Sword Dance will actually do it for 2 durability, so I'll go for that.
Must protect Garreg Mach. I must protect everyone.
And there's another level for Petra. Putting down traitors.
We will lend the Empire strength.
Don't worry, we're allies now. I understand you must have many questions, but they'll have to wait until after the battle.
Seteth, Flame, Gilbert. You put your lives on the line to protect us. I would have preferred to have more time to prepare, but we cannot delay any longer. Come forth. Protect Garreg Mach Monastery from those despicable rebels.
I'll crush them all.
Her enemies are my enemies.
So they all spawn on player phase after you do that, but you do get the Death Knight, and the Death Knight is still pretty strong. Although he doesn't really have the tankiness that's required to survive all this. Cyril is basically another Seteth, except potentially even stronger, I think. And Catherine is definitely no joke. If you get in a melee with her, you probably die. So it's best to take her out from beyond her range. And one nice thing here is the lack of enemy flyers. There's Cyril, and that's about it. Everything else is mounted or infantry. And, I mean, you do have the golems, which are kind of spooky. Especially when they get Swordbreaker. But you can still armor break them and gambit them pretty reliably, because they have 0 charm. I only have 12 attack speed, so I should be able to get right in their range with Edelgard. I believe they do magic damage, so 37 attack on her resistance is going to be about half her health and damage. I think 1 less. Give her the hand axe. She should be able to take that and then counterattack, but she won't double on the counter.
I'll do my best.
I'll go.
I think I'll set up a healing formation here, so that way we can take advantage of Dorothea's healing for free.
You saved me.
And then I probably want to pull in Hart close to the center, so that he's sort of out of the way here. Now Byleth is actually in the enemy camp here, and that's not a very safe place to be. At least the Ballista will do light damage, although there is the Poison Strike to think about too. So I probably want to either boost her Avoid or get her out of here. So I could do that by pulling her to the left side and then waiting for these enemies to come to me. And that might work out alright. It looks like that'll also put me in range of this fire orb, which is It's less than ideal. So I guess I'll just pull out entirely. Equip the silver sword to increase her avoid to the maximum. And he actually has 3 range, so he can snipe golems from outside their range. That's fine. Light damage. I'll just wait for the enemy to come to me and rout them, probably. I might throw a few heals the Death Knight's way. Yeah, that hurt. But I don't think it's problematic. At least not until the Iron Golem behind him catches up to me. And he can't get over the bridge. And there's some free healing for us. So yeah, as long as I sort of block these spaces, this golem actually can't attack me, because he's only got 2 range. But I have to worry about stepping to this side of the golem here. So if I open with a Mire, we'll actually reduce his defense here. And we'll break a barrier. So even though he was level 8, he's still proving highly valuable. That gets us a stun. Then it looks like we don't have monster arts on any of our units. We do have it on Petra, so we might be able to make use of that. Looks like we don't have it. Do have it on Edelgard. So if I use Monster Breaker with Silver Axe here, that's pretty good. $70 damage in 1 hit that's not a crit. Pretty solid. And then we might potentially crit, take out another barrier here. That's fine. Takes off half his health anyway.
I've really made this my own.
Bowbreaker isn't a terrible skill, but it's kind of awkward on Warlocks. They probably shouldn't be getting into archer range anyway. Probably do a hit and run with Ingrid, although that might be a little bit risky. She does have good resistance though. 5 times 2, 7 times 2. The bow is a little more powerful. Alright, she did pretty well there. And I think if we go like Ferdinand with the hand axe, as long as I attack the right square and Joy-Con Drift doesn't mess me up, we should get the kill for sure. Nice. Too bad that's overkill. Alright, last HP bar. I believe it's safe to leave Ferdinand here, so I think I will, just for the support bonuses. And Catherine's coming this way, so I think I'll leave Lysithea there just to get her from range and hopefully kill her. Don't think I can get the last little bit of HP off of this guy this turn. At least not safely. Yeah, even if I do that and crit, which I can only get up to like a 24% chance, I'm not gonna kill unless I double crit, and even then I don't have anyone to heal, so that's not a good play. I'll just move Petra over. And I think I'll leave Felix close by Dorothea here. And then I'll heal Edelgard with Linhardt.
A great help.
You swap to get a little closer with Byleth there. I think I will put Lysithea right in the doorway. Oh no, the Death Knight took 4 damage. Death Knight's pretty strong, he'll be fine. Until he gets swamped by poison strike archers and gets killed. That's going to hurt a little bit, but I don't think we have to worry about the other golem killing us, so it should be fine. Yep, this is the thing that's going to do the most damage to the Death Knight, but luckily it missed. Hopefully he kills the sniper. Yep, guaranteed. The Death Knight's doing a pretty good job. Can't actually kill Rhea for me, but he can do pretty much all but. So if we use Monster Bane, we can take the 31 damage if it does hit. We'll need healing though. And that'll break this barrier. Nice. We also got a little bit of extra damage in there with Caspar. So that should open us up to use Monster Breaker with Edelgard here. 53. Going to need to do a little bit of extra damage here, so following up with 2 mages should get it done. Or even just Dorothea. So, Monster Breaker with the hammer, it's really awkward. It's definitely not the ideal weapon to use, but my Durpoti's pretty low. And I'll use Thoron, and that should get us a kill.
Wide open.
Alright, and that means we have 1 golem left. And I probably have to heal whoever I decide to put in his range. Really want to make sure that it's safe to approach as well. Okay, should be good to get into melee with it in the center file here, and that will block him from advancing. Catherine. Hit rates are not very good on her. We can't kill her in 1 hit. So that is not ideal. Also, Lysithea is trapped over here with one of the scariest units in the game, so that's not very good. What's her charm? 28? So what do our odds of gambiting her look like? Pretty bad. I might need to deal with that pretty quickly. Yeah, it's going to be pretty tricky to deal with Catherine here. I probably need to use my mages. And even then, hit rates are not going to be very good. So I'll send Byleth over that way, I'll send Ingrid over that way, and hopefully we can surround with ranged weapons and attempt to get our hit rates up. I'll also send Linhardt. He'll need to heal Ferdinand or Edelgard up to a reasonable level.
Thanks.
Ferdinand will be able to survive that. I'll leave him with the hand axe equipped so he gets the counterattack. Also give him a vulnerary. But Catherine did go for Lysithea. That makes things easier. Armor Knight versus Fire Orb. Pretty clear who the winner should be. Nice. Ferdinand will break his hand axe on the counter here. Also half break a barrier. Catherine is... No, she isn't going to get in the way, but this mercenary is, as far as dealing with this enemy golem goes. It looks like I won't quite be able to get close enough to pull Catherine this way, and I'm not equipped with impregnables or blessings, so I can't bait her. I might be able to gambit this down. I don't need to hit this tile, and this tile. Probably use Petra. Catherine has 118 hit. But she also does have a battalion. And if she gambits Petra, I'm not sure how that'll go. Retribution, okay, so she's got a support battalion. I could potentially bait her with Petra then. .33% hit rate. $108 versus 118. I guess her hit rate's so high because she gets a bunch of support bonuses, so I'm not going to do that. Alright, so Catherine's up here, and she's not quite interfering with taking out this golem, but she will be shortly. And in order to take this golem out this turn, that's going to be relatively tricky. If I pop a Fusillade, I'll have to hit some tiles that'll probably bring me within Catherine's range. But at any rate, I can move Lysithea back up this way to begin moving towards Catherine. And as long as I keep the line where it is,
That's my cue.
I can use Thoron with Dorothea to attack. But I have to move either Edelgard or Felix first. I think Felix can take one hit. So if I move him here, I can use the Fusillade Gambit. Although there's no real point in that if I'm not going to armor break this turn, which means I'm going to need to get 3 more attacks in. 1, 2, 3. So getting around the side is going to be probably the trickiest. But if I get Ferdinand up here, I can pull him back out. Recover from stun, I can use like a hand axe, that'll get that one. Should be able to get this one with Dorothea, and then I guess I could get this one with a hand axe with like Edelgard. Ferdinand's hand axe is broken though, so I'm gonna have to reach this one with Dorothea, I think. Do a hit and run. Alright, so let me reach the one we need to with Thoron here. Oh, need Meteor. I mean, I am running out of enemies to use Meteors on, so it could be worth it. I'm going to Fusillade from here. The damage is bad, but the hit rate's good. And so he'll go for Felix, but that'll be fine. Felix will survive that just fine, no problems. He is stunned, so we can take full advantage of this. Looks like I can't quite get out, unless I do have a hand axe. Yeah, I'm going to have to use Dorothea's Meteor. As much as I would like to avoid using it and save it, it's called for here. So that takes care of the back tile. I can then use one of his 3 range spells here. Take out another one safely. And then I can either hit and run with Ferdinand. Which should work out just fine, because it'll actually take out an HP bar, or I could potentially try something a little bit different, using either Edelgard or Petra.
I will get the victory.
I think I will go with this hit and run instead. Wait, his armor broken now. Get Mithril for that. And we take out an HP bar as well. I think I'll pull all the way out of enemy range. Since he actually won't be able to move, that's fine. Then if I use Monster Bane, what does our damage look like? 42 with a 59% crit chance. Whereas if we just attack with, let's say, Killing Edge, guaranteed to kill. So we'll do that to get rid of this HP bar. At least I think we will. Attack and 27 attack speed. There's 21 protection. As long as we heal Edelgard, we could leave her in range, I think. Although I do have to worry about the Fire Orb, right? Yeah, alright. So it doesn't look like I'll be able to kill this golem this turn by monster breaking with Edelgard. So I'll just use Petra here. And I'll go for the Killing Edge kill.
I will win.
Think this through.
I think if I move her in that space and use a hand axe, we might be able to do some good though. So, I'll use my last physic.
I will prevail.
And if I put Edelgard here, throw a hand axe, we get some free damage.
Don't waste my time.
Nice, quite a bit of free damage as a matter of fact. Wow. The adjutant follow-up actually got the kill.
You know your limits.
I think that's the first time I've ever seen that happen. And then 18 times 2 is fine as long as it doesn't crit. Edelgard should survive.
Stay focused.
And I think I'll pull Byleth over this way,
Ready.
alongside Ingrid. To be sort of prepared for the fight with Catherine that's going to be coming up shortly.
I gotta kill you!
Oh, Death Knight survived. He also did some beefy damage to Cyril. But I think he's going to attack and suicide on Cyril. Yeah, he's got 1 HP left, so I don't have high hopes for him. That's fine, Edelgard's still alive. This church soldier is all alone and separated from his support.
Hope this is good for something.
Well, it looks like he got himself killed on this fire orb user instead. But at least he did some good. Be really nice to have Lysithea in range to do something useful here. But I've kind of messed up by putting her where she is. Sort of separated and unusable. If we were to attack Catherine, it would not go very well. Our hit rates are pretty dreadful. Probably need to gambit her. And that also puts us in a ton of enemies' range if we do that, so a little bit dicey. Might be able to meteor her. The hit rate's not good, but the damage is, so if we get enough supporting units around there and we try some gambits, we might actually be able to do that.
Unexpected.
Like, for example, if we go here and we use Raging Flame, not only will we kill, we'll also gambit down Catherine. And then we have to survive a ballista, a sniper, and a mage with Edelgard, or warp her out.
Your defeat was inevitable. One step at a time.
Decent level up. Plus we get some bonus stats as well. But yeah, Edelgard is in pretty bad shape if we just leave her right there, so we're going to have to cut off the enemy's ability to approach her. Since there are a bunch of mages, we can't just dodge tank with Petra either. Take this one out with my left.
That is that.
It takes care of one threat. We don't need to take care of Catherine this turn, although it might be wise to anyway. Need to do a little bit of extra damage to that sniper in order to get the kill. I'm not really a fan of putting Ingrid up here. She won't even be able to reach anyway. Probably have to use Stride in order to kill all these enemies that we have to get rid of to save Edelgard.
Unexpected.
Well done.
So we'll try that. Petra can take out the sniper, in all likelihood.
You will be slapped down! Witness frigid pride.
That takes care of one threat. And it looks like most of these enemies aren't going to move until I actually get up the stairs. So that's good. Looks like we're out of that one's range as well. So I really only have to worry about the ballistas, which do fairly light damage, and the fire orbs. They're also not that big of a problem. So as long as we take out this enemy mage, we're in good shape. Edelgard is probably among the better units I have for that, although she can't actually get into range, so I guess that kills that idea. Now, Ferdinand would be a good choice here, but leaving him in ballista range is probably not that wise. At least not without dismounting. We can guarantee a one-shot kill, so then he won't take any counter damage. He does have pretty poor resistance. Which means that he'll probably end up being attacked and losing half of his health to this fire orb. And then we also have to deal with Cyril next turn. I think that should be okay though. As long as we dismount with him. Smash for the guaranteed kill.
This was beneath me. Greatness awaits me.
I mean, it wasn't a terrible level up, but no speed always is a little bit sad. Probably don't want to put Lysithea in range there since her defense is quite weak. Probably had ought to try to take out Catherine if I can. Oran leaves her with 1 HP. Hit rate on it also isn't quite perfect. Felix will probably get destroyed if he steps in range there, so that's not ideal. I guess I'll try for Thoron. If it works, it'll help.
Catherine, and I will slay all of Lady Rhea's enemies, including you.
Nice. We do need to hit her one more time. Well, luckily that's all we need. Hubert's probably a liability and can't go anywhere. Edelgard can take 9 damage. So that's fine. I don't think I can do... quite enough with Ingrid in order to get her out of range. Even if she were able to hit. Could potentially try to attack with Felix here. I think as long as I keep him out of range of getting hit by both, he has a decent chance of getting this kill.
Together we can't fail.
We'll make our move.
Nice.
Lady Rhea, I'm sorry. Please, stay safe.
That makes next turn go quite a bit easier. So then I can focus all my attention.
All is well, Catherine. You must not die here.
Cyril can't quite reach, so that's fine. That won't be lethal. And it missed. Yep, Felix is going to take poison damage afterwards too. So, the fact that the enemy has those ballistas is a little bit annoying, but it's not all that threatening as long as I keep my units in good health. Cyril, on the other hand, is pretty spooky, so I will try to take him out this turn if I can. Suppose I'd best try to stay out of range of too many enemies here. Looks like I can go all the way to taking him from 2 range. As long as I don't go above him, Dorothea should be alright. We use Sagite. Looks like we're a little bit light on damage to get the kill. Oh, we can get pretty close. Though he does have keen intuition, which means our hit rates are pretty dreadful. And I can't quite get into range to kill him with many units here. Petra is probably our best bet. Get double him with the Iron Sword. We can guarantee that he won't get a chance to hit us. But we'll try this, since it's risk-free, and if we get the crit, it'll be a kill. That's alright, he's got 2 HP left. And it looks like if I go on this side, I don't have to worry about too many attacks for Ferdinand to deal with. So 92 isn't quite good enough, we'll go for the smash. There we go, that takes care of Cyril.
Lady Rhea, I couldn't fight hard enough. I'm sorry.
Cyril, your sacrifice will not be in vain.
And now I definitely need to throw some healing around, or else our units are going to be in a little bit of trouble here. So, I probably don't want to step into range of the ballista with someone who can actually heal.
Sorry.
Probably also don't want to deal with Lysithea. So I might need to go Byleth and recall Edelgard in order to get away with this. I could warp her out, potentially.
Thank you.
If I heal her with Dorothea and then warp her with Linhardt. And as long as I stay out of range of these enemies up here, I should only be taking fairly light damage. I think Ingrid's going to be too much use here. I'll put Felix over here, and I'll retreat. So that way Edelgard's out of the way. And I think that's about all I can do here. It's alright. Ferdinand still has half his health left. Probably going to miss, and even if it hits, it's not lethal. But it does get him into range where I can kill him. Okay, so as long as I take out this Cavalier, I could warp Edelgard somewhere, and she could attack from the side of this archer and kill him. And that might work out just fine. I don't know if these units can actually move. Looks like they can't. They have 0 move, so they're actually rooted. Which means that if I put units right next to them, I don't have to worry about them attacking me at point blank range. Or at least for the archer. So on this side I can go Byleth versus the Cavalier, potentially. 17 damage is not ideal. So maybe... I guess it's not worth actually sacrificing the chance of killing to boost my crit rate up to 70%. Probably best to just hope that I get that 60% crit the first time.
Allow me to demonstrate.
Looks like it worked out.
Each battle, a chance to grow.
So that means I don't have to heal Byleth, which makes things quite a bit easier. And I can move Petra right up here. And I don't really need crit here. It's fine if I kill with a double. I'll just need to throw a physic on Petra if she gets hit.
Flame spirit, protect me.
So heal Edelgard. And Ferdinand can also use some healing. So I think I'll pull him all the way down here. That way at least he's baiting the ballista.
Thank you.
And I'll heal him right up. And it looks like I'm going to have to wait until I actually kill the enemies that are on those ballista in order to really do anything significant here.
Prevail.
Should happen next turn. Beth can survive that. She can also survive that. She should be fine. Petra gets hit by Blaze. That might open her up to eventually being killed though. So that's a little bit risky. But the enemy hit rates with Blaze are not going to be very good. 80% chance that Petra lives. The odds are pretty highly in my favor, but it is a little bit sloppy. Looks like due to enemy turn order, she's safe. Because she won't be hit with Blaze first.
Predictable.
Well, at least one of them missed.
This'll get him.
Nice.
Be mindful.
Do I have any physics left? No, and yes. So I'm going to use a physic on Raylath first. And then she should be fast enough to avoid being doubled, which means she should be able to take one hit from the mage here. I guess I'll go for the killing edge. Nice. It's nice having a 55% crit rate. And we won't need the Blessed Bow for a while since we've killed all the monsters on the chapter. I believe he's out of blazes. He does have Swordbreaker, which is kind of problematic. So I think I will put Petra over here. Looks like the Rapier has the best chance of doing pretty well here. Although without physics support that might be a bit of trouble if I actually do miss. This might call for warping Edelgard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Should be able to reach. Looks like she'll be out of mage range, so she should be pretty safe. Oh, she gets doubled. Well, we can take off half its health, and then follow up with Petra. And as long as she hits with one of those, she'll actually quickly get the kill.
I am Ferdinand von Eyre.
Also follow up with a hand axe from Ferdinand if I need to. You should be able to survive being hit by the mage, so I could actually try that. Though I'll need to do some trading with Petra in order to accomplish that. Alright, that should be fine to do. So, we'll try this. check your hand axe before we go in for the attack. I'm going with the rapier so that if we hit once, we get the kill. Odds are reasonably good. Nice.
One more success. I am greater now.
Oh, that went as well as could be hoped. And Edelgard will be able to survive 19 damage just fine. And Violet can also survive 13. So we are in pretty good shape. And Lysithea is finally free to move. And to take out another wall. Didn't do a very good job with positioning her to take full advantage of her. So they should leave Ferdinand adjacent to Dorothea for passive healing. I suppose I can also start marching other units up since we only really have to worry about one thing. We'll also heal up Ingrid. That's fine. I don't need to heal Edelgard until next turn. And at this point the situation is almost entirely under control. The only problem here is Rhea, who I have to basically be able to kill without dying. Guaranteed kill here. I don't really have to worry about the weapon durability consumption on this chapter since the next chapter is a free repair one.
Think this through.
The only weapon with enough durability to use a combat art is the hammer. Looks like we can't quite get the hit rates we need with their weapons, so probably going to give this one to Petra. And that'll definitely remove him.
Witness frigid pride.
Not sure who exactly will be able to fight Rhea without getting themselves killed, but Petra and Violet might be able to. Edelgard maybe, due to her immense amount of HP, but she might be doubled. I'll just move Ferdinand there and heal with Dorothea.
Back to the fray.
So Ferdinand's at full health. I'll move Edelgard there, heal her with Dorothea.
Well done. Not quite what I was after.
I mean, speed's always good. More resistance sort of suits her role as an immensely high resistance unit.
Thank you.
Ingrid's at full. And we also master Dark Mage, which gives us Poison
Practice
Strike.
does make perfect.
And that's actually a really useful skill, especially on Maddening. So I'm happy to have that. We can rally resistance with Hubert, so even though he's a level 8 monk, he still has something he can do that's useful here. Because I might need that to keep either Petra or Byleth alive. So she has 25 might with the Sword of Saros. She does have counterattack, so there's no way of avoiding counter there. Unless I'm going to Gambit her. And that's probably also unlikely to work. Because she has 53 charm. And my best units have in the 30s, so... probably going to have to just go for the attacks. Yeah, 18% crit with 30 might's pretty beefy. I'm going to have to make sure I have enough damage to Alpha Strike her down on one turn. Although, I do believe that counterattack does not function if you use like a ballista on her. So, that's one way around that potentially that you could use. I can't really make full use of it though. Strength. I guess Edelgard might be able to do some damage there.
I will prevail.
Yeah, given that her hit rate is so abysmal and she'll be doubled, that's probably about the most useful thing I can do with her actually.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You have Lysithea, and Lysithea has Luna, which should actually do considerable damage, and she's also got pretty good resistance. So she might be able to actually trade blows with Rhea just fine. And we'll see what we can do next turn. Looks like I don't have the bow ranks to actually use the ballista here. Earthea also has massive resistance. Not enough speed though. This is probably going to be a similar problem for Lysithea. And she's also using the Sword of Seros, so defense now resistance will matter here. She doesn't actually double Ferdinand, but she has crit on him, and his hit rate's not that great. So it's looking like Ferdinand, Byleth, and Petra are three units who can actually fight Rhea here. With a killing edge, our odds are actually pretty decent of getting this kill. Hit rates are not quite as good with Petra. But I can still put Lysithea and Dorothea to use here. Equipping their long-range spells and putting them within range to actually do damage. They'll actually be able to support me pretty well here, and that'll increase my hit rate even further. Make this even more likely to go my way. So I'll start with Byleth, and then if I have to follow up, I'll follow up with Petra and Ferdinand.
You! How dare you betray me! You worthless piece of garbage! I will punish you myself! Prepare yourself!
And there we go. As long as she doesn't crit, we should be good. And we got an 87% hit rate here. I think just taking it is probably the best way to go. As long as we hit with the first hit, we actually don't have to worry about that much. I guess that Sword Dance is actually a little bit better, since if she hits, she'll heal. She does have Vantage as well, which will be a factor here. So Sword Dance is probably the way to go, just to keep that hit rate nice and low.
So you have sullied yourself by joining the rebels? I hope you came prepared to breathe your last! I will not allow Garrick Mach or my mother to fall!
There we go, that's chapter 12. That one is pretty stiff in terms of opposition because of the Falco Knights, or Pegasus Knights. As typical, they're the most problematic thing. Rey is also pretty tough to deal with, because she's got pretty high speed and pretty good offensive capability, which is both physical and magically mixed. And then, you've also got units that are really dangerous, like Catherine and Cyril, that have to be dealt with. But it's definitely possible to deal with, as long as you go in with the right preparations and don't make too many mistakes. And you can also blitz it, potentially, if you just rush Rhea and take her down with your strongest units, but being able to have your strongest units be flyers that are capable of doing that is a little bit sketchy. Alright, so that was Chapter 12. Next up is Chapter 13. I hope you'll join me for that, and until then.